The average house in London right now costs £553,000. Let that sink in. £500,000 for an average home. Not a nice one, an average one. But here's what the estate agents don't advertise. Get on a train at King's Cross, St Pancras or Euston, ride it for less than an hour, and you can step off in towns where the average house costs 240 grand. Same salary, same job, half the mortgage. And in 2026, with most of us only going into the office 2 or 3 days a week, that hour on the train hits very differently than it did 5 years ago. So today we're ranking the 10 best commuter towns within roughly an hour of London, with real house prices, real train times, real season ticket costs, and the honest downsides nobody mentions until you've already exchanged contracts. Because there's always a catch. And number 1, it might be the best value cathedral city in the whole of England. Grab a brew, let's get into it. Starting in Britain's oldest recorded town and its newest city, Colchester in Essex. Average house prices are around £300,000. Train into Liverpool Street is 47 minutes on the fast service. Annual season ticket is roughly £6,700. Remember that number, because if you're only commuting 3 days a week, flexi season tickets slash it considerably. What do you get for your money? A proper city with 2,000 years of history, Roman walls, a Norman castle, and a Dutch quarter that looks like it was airlifted in from Amsterdam. The University of Essex keeps the place young, the Mercury Theatre keeps it cultured, and you're 20 minutes from the Essex coast at Wivenhoe and Mersey Island, where the oysters are genuinely world-class. The honest bit: Colchester is the most expensive town on this list, so it's the shallowest discount. You're saving 45%, not 50%. The town centre has its scruffy patches, and the A12 is a car park at rush hour. But for families who want history, schools, and a fast train, it earns its place. Who it suits? Families and first-time buyers who want city status without city prices. At number 9, the town with the fastest commute on this entire list, Gravesend in Kent. 24 minutes, that's it, 24 minutes on HS1 from Gravesend to St Pancras International. There are people in Zone 4 with longer journeys paying double for the privilege. Average house price around £285,000, and for that you get handsome Victorian terraces, a historic riverside fort, and a town that's quietly benefiting from every pound being poured into the Thames estuary regeneration. Now, the honesty you subscribed for. Gravesend's town centre has seen better decades. The high street needs love, and parts of town feel rough around the edges. HS1 season tickets also carry a premium. You pay for that speed. But here's the thing the spreadsheet says. A 24-minute commute means you can leave your desk at 5:30 and be home by 6:15. That's not commuting, that's just living slightly east. Who it suits? Anyone who values time over polish, and canny buyers betting on the estuary's regeneration money. Number 8 takes us west. And yes, I can already hear the jokes in the comments. Swindon in Wiltshire. Everyone's favourite punchline, and everyone's wrong. Average house price, £257,000. London Paddington in as little as 50 minutes on the fast GWR services. And unlike most towns on this list, Swindon is a genuine job centre in its own right. Major employers in tech, finance and engineering mean you're not betting everything on the London wage. The railway built this town, and the railway village, Brunel's original workers' housing, is one of the underrated heritage quarters in southern England. You're also 20 minutes from the Cotswolds and the North Wessex Downs. The countryside on Swindon's doorstep is the stuff other towns put on postcards. The catch? The town centre. It's tired, it knows it's tired, and the regeneration has been promised longer than some residents have been alive. You move to Swindon for the house, the salary maths, and the countryside, not for the nightlife. Who it suits? Pragmatists, people who've done the spreadsheet and want maximum house for minimum fuss. At 7, the town that quietly has one of the best school systems in the country, Bedford. The average house price is around £280,000. Fast trains to St Pancras from 39 minutes, plus Thameslink services running straight through the heart of London, no tube transfer needed. If you work in Farringdon, London Bridge or the City, that is a cheat code. Bedford's secret weapon is the Harper Trust Schools, a cluster of independent schools that would cost you triple the fees worth in house premium anywhere in Surrey. Add a genuinely beautiful stretch of Victorian riverside, one of the largest Italian communities in Britain, and the best espresso outside Soho, and you've got a town with actual character. Downsides? The town centre retail is struggling like everywhere, and some estates north of the station are a mixed bag. Do your street-level research. Who it suits? Families playing the long game on education, and city workers who want the Thameslink through train. Number 6 is technically 2 towns wearing one postcode, Chatham and Rochester, in the Medway towns. Average house price across Medway around £255,000. HS1 into St Pancras, roughly 40 minutes. Rochester is the postcard, a Norman castle, England's second oldest cathedral, and a Dickensian high street that actually earns the adjective. Dickens lived here, wrote here, and the town still throws festivals in his honour. Chatham is the value play, the historic dockyard, waterfront regeneration, and street after street of Victorian terraces at prices that make South London buyers physically wince. The honest bit. Chatham consistently ranks poorly in worst high street surveys, and it's earned some of that. Parts of the town are properly deprived, and the contrast between Rochester's boutique high street and Chatham's pound shops 5 minutes apart is jarring. But universities are expanding here, the waterfront is transforming, and London money is arriving street by street. Buy right, and you're early to something. Who it suits? Priced out South Londoners. You keep the river, the history, and about £300,000. Quick one before the top 5. If you commute from any of these towns, tell me in the comments what it's actually like. The delays, the parking, the seat you never get. You lot know things Rightmove doesn't. And if you're finding this useful, the subscribe button is free, which is more than can be said for anything else in this video. Number 5. Right, deep breath. Luton. Yes, that Luton, the town we ranked dead last in our worst places video. The comments haven't forgiven me yet. So why is it here? Because the spreadsheet doesn't care about reputations. The average house price is around £270,000. Trains to St Pancras from 22 minutes on the fastest services that are quicker than most Londoners' tube journeys, an international airport on your doorstep, and more regeneration money is flowing in right now than almost any town in the southeast, including a £1 billion town centre plan and the new Luton Rising airport expansion. Luton is what property people call an arbitrage play. The reputation is priced in, the improvements aren't. The gap between what Luton costs and what Luton's connectivity should cost is the widest in the entire London commuter belt. Am I telling you it's pretty? No, the town centre is a work in progress, and I stand by plenty of what we said in that video. But if you buy in the right pocket, the Wardown Park area, say, you're getting Zone 2 connectivity at 40% of Zone 2 prices. Who it suits? Contrarians, investors, and anyone who flies more than they'd like to admit. At 4, the biggest town on this list, and one of the biggest towns in Europe without city status, Northampton. Average house prices are around £250,000. Euston in 50 to 60 minutes. Northampton made the world's shoes. Churches, Crockett & Jones, Trickers, still crafted here, still on the feet of James Bond. That heritage left behind handsome Victorian factories, now turning into loft apartments, and a stock of solid family housing that goes further than almost anywhere within an hour of London. You've also got Abington Park, one of the finest free parks in the Midlands, good schools in the suburbs, Silverstone 20 minutes up the road, and countryside villages like the Bramptons on the doorstep that estate agents in Surrey would price like Kensington. Honesty time, the town centre has been hollowed out, and the rebuild is slow. The commute is also at the top end of our hour, fine 3 days a week, punishing 5. Who it suits. Families who want a 4-bed detached for the price of a London 1-bed and don't mind the town centre being a work in progress.
Into the top 3 and the fastest rising star of the commuter belt, Rugby, Warwickshire. Average house prices are around £245,000. Euston in as little as 50 minutes on Avanti's fast services. That's Warwickshire countryside to central London quicker than Croydon on a bad day. Buyer interest in Rugby has jumped over 30% recently, and it's not hard to see why. This is a proper market town, reclined with a school so famous it invented a sport and lent the town's name to it. Period homes, leafy estates, a compact centre with independent shops, and some of the best value family housing between London and Birmingham. You're equidistant from both, which in a flexible working world means double the job market. The catch? Rugby's popularity is the threat. New estates are going up fast on every edge of town, and prices are climbing quicker than the regional average. The value window is open, but it's closing. Who it suits? Families who want the market town postcard and the fast train before everyone else works it out.
Number 2 is the town almost nobody outside Northamptonshire could point to on a map, Wellingborough. And that anonymity is exactly why it's here. Average house prices are around £250,000. St Pancras in as little as 47 minutes. Run those numbers again. Sub 50 minutes into one of London's best connected stations from a town where 250 grand buys you a 3-bedroom house with a garden. In London, 250k buys you a studio flat above a chicken shop and an argument with the leaseholder. Wellingborough also has something rare on this list: momentum without hype. The Stanton Cross development is adding thousands of homes and a redeveloped station. The town sits on the edge of the Nain Valley with proper countryside walks, and neighbouring Kettering and Corby give it a wider jobs and shopping hinterland. The honest bit, the town itself is plain. This is not a mini Cotswold. The high street is functional, the culture scene is thin, and Saturday night entertainment involves a train. You're buying the connectivity and the house, not the postcode bragging rights. Who it suits? Pure value hunters, the highest house per pound per minute ratio in the southeast. And at number 1, a full-blown cathedral city, 50 minutes from King's Cross, where the average house costs less than half the London average, Peterborough. The average house price is £240,000, up 5% this year because the secret is escaping. London King's Cross, 45 to 50 minutes on LNER's fast trains with cheaper, slower Thameslink options when you're not in a hurry. Let's do the maths that makes this number 1. London's average is 553,000, Peterborough average is 240. That's a £313,000 difference. Even after a season ticket, call it £7,000 a year, less on a flexi ticket, you'd need to commute for over 40 years before the trains cost you what the house saved you. And you're not settling. Peterborough has a genuinely magnificent Norman cathedral. Catherine of Aragon is buried there. It has Neen Park and Ferry Meadows, 2,000 acres of lakes and parkland. It has one of the youngest, fastest-growing populations in the country, a new university, and every retail and transport amenity a regional city should have. The honest bit, because there's always one, Peterborough regularly gets kicked in those worst places to live surveys, including, well, ours. The city centre is more functional than beautiful, some estates struggle, and it will never win a prettiness contest against York. But the people voting in those surveys aren't doing this spreadsheet. Half-price houses, 50 minutes, a cathedral city with a growing economy. That's not a compromise, that's an escape plan.
So that's the top 10, from Colchester's Roman walls to Peterborough's Norman cathedral. 10 towns where an hour on the train buys you half a house for free. Here's the takeaway. London wages plus commuter town prices is the single biggest financial cheat code available to ordinary working people in Britain right now. And hybrid working has made it twice as powerful as it was in 2019. Would you make the move? Or is there a commuter town I've criminally overlooked? Tell me below and defend it properly. If you found this useful, you know what to do. And if you're wondering which towns you should avoid, the ones people regret moving to, that video is on screen now.